Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. FADÍ is in the building with me. Welcome.
Big FADÍ in the building.
Big FADÍ in the building.
So, yes, Big FADÍ. FADÍ, capital letters, FADI with an accent on the I. And yeah, man, I'm from Niger, West Africa.
Talk about it.
French-speaking country.
And you also sing in French too, right?
Yeah, I speak in French, some African dialects, and English.
It was interesting because like when GQ had like put me on to you, I was like, oh, she be like speaking in French too,
Yeah.
which is really interesting because I didn't necessarily expect that. You know what I'm saying? Because when he sends me like Afrobeat artists, obviously I expect them to be speaking different dialects, but like French isn't one that I automatically think off the top.
Exactly, and I feel like that's something I kind of show off with, like my different linguistic sounds.
Yeah.
Because who speaking French, English, and African dialects in their songs?
Right. That part too.
I'm doing that, feel me?
Would you say Darko vibes did that too? And just in that one song though, right?
French? I mean,
just in the one song. I'm just saying just for that one
it's
song.
like funny French. Like, feel me?
She said funny French. What do you mean by funny French?
Like, it's not serious French. Like, je m'appelle. Who doesn't know je m'appelle? Like,
respectfully, you got whole songs in French.
Yeah.
Did you grow up speaking French in the different how did this? I want to get an idea of like the beginning of your life. So you were born there.
I love this question because I love talking about my journey.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
I was born in Abuja, Nigeria, because my dad was working there at the time.
Okay.
But I'm not from Nigeria. I'm from Niger.
Okay.
So at the age of 5, we moved to Niger and then literally went to school there and all of that. So growing up, we were speaking French and African dialects in the crib. But English was also like, our TV was South African. It was a South African cable. So we always had that like Nigerian or South African influence, I'll say, but mostly Nigerian. And in Francophone schools, like you have to take English classes.
Right.
So we kind of learned English, I would say. And then 2011, I moved to New York.
Okay. So 2011, you moved to New York City and you've been here ever since.
Yep.
It's interesting. Before we get to the New York stuff, I want to go back and talk about the fact that so you're there, but you have South African TV?
Yes, it's called DSTV. But
interesting.
It's like, I say at the time in Africa, South Africa was like more popping, I'll say, and then Nigeria too. So having a South African cable would be the ideal thing for English, Anglophone, like spaces and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it was more just kind of like, oh, this is like what some people would like.
Yeah.
So
they had like Trace, Africa Trace, Channel O, which are Nigerian channels. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So you had to watch that instead of, I guess, like whatever like would be considered like a local station.
Exactly.
So what was there like a specific dialect that you spoke in your household?
Yeah, Zalma.
Zalma.
But so my mom speaks Hausa. It's another African dialect that they actually speak it in Nigeria, Ghana, Niger, and other places. But she grew up speaking that with her family and all of that. So I kind of understand Hausa as well. I don't speak it that well, but I understand Hausa. But Zalma is the main one.
So you speak how many dialects overall, including French?
2.
2.
And I know a couple Fulani words. Fulani is another dialect.
Do you also incorporate all that into your music?
So the song I'm actually about to perform is in Zalma.
Okay.
Yeah. Hausa, not yet, but coming soon. But yeah.
So as someone who isn't as familiar with these different dialects, how do you distinctify one from the other? Like what are like the key things that kind of distinctify the different ones? If there are like extremely kind of like things that do distinctify them like that.
I feel like knowing both languages, it would be hard for me to say, but Hausa is more popular. So if Ghanaians or Nigerians hear Hausa, they will know it's Hausa. Zalma is like, yeah, I don't know what she's talking about. Because Zalma is mostly in Niger, so.
Is it kind of like, I'm thinking like obviously this from a Puerto Rican perspective, right? Is it kind of like okay, the way that Dominicans and Puerto Ricans speak we all speak Spanish, but it's still
different accents.
Different, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like Spain to like Spain Spanish versus like Puerto Rican Spanish. Even though I don't think that there's any like proper term for like the different types of Spanish that we speak, but it's like
there's
it's still
different accents, right?
Yeah, different and different words are said differently, and just kind of like like obviously in Spain, like Spain Spanish is very proper, right? So there's
it's like
certain,
the
very
original.
like exactly.
Okay, it's the
Versus
same. It's the same
same
to
type
be
of
honest,
thing.
because it's like even French. Like if you go in a French-speaking country in Africa, they would have a certain type of accent
Right.
versus French people. Feel me?
No, I definitely
English
understand, yeah.
too, and even Hausa is crazy. Like the Nigerian Hausa is different from the Ghanaian Hausa, and that's different from the Nigerian Hausa as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that makes sense to me. Yeah, because I got to think of it from like a Spanish perspective.
Yeah, it's literally the same concept.
Yeah, because like the way that Dominican speak and Puerto Rican speak are very different from like from that versus also the way that like someone in like Mexicans speak or the way Spaniards speak. Because Spaniards speak like complete like Spaniard Spanish is like
Different.
different. Yeah, because as like I'm like I don't speak a lot of Spanish myself because I'm a Puerto Rican from New York, but like even like going to like the school, it's like when you go to school and they try to teach you Spanish, the Spanish that they teach you is like Spain Spanish.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
they don't like put when at least when I was in school or when like even when my folks like they look at like the school, it's like they're like what is this? It's not right. So
Yeah,
that's
true,
how that's
yeah.
I get it. I get it then.
Even in French-speaking countries, like they make you take an extra language besides English. So you have the option to take Spanish class or German class and all that. So I definitely know what you're talking about with the Spanish. And then you come here, it's a different...
Completely
like,
different.
The Dominican scene is, heavy here, so it's like, que lo que, and all of that. I'm like, yeah. I did not learn that in school.
Yeah, you come here, you're like, wait a second, all this stuff that they taught me in Spanish is just like, doesn't work here in America.
Different.
You try to speak to someone in Spanish here in America, they look at and they're like, why are you speaking?
Being so proper? So
yeah, it's like not how we speak.
Nah.
So you moved here in 2011. You've been here ever since. Was your whole family moved here? Or was it just you? Like, what was that?
Yeah, so my whole family moved here. My sisters, they kind of joined us later on, but yeah, literally we've been here since 2011.
Oh wow, that's dope. So like, when did you first start officially making music then?
Okay, I've been making covers for a long time.
Okay.
But I dropped my first single December 2019.
Okay, so oh wow, what a time to drop your first single. Because it's just like pandemic.
Literally, I was like, I mean, it was a good experience. You know why? Because I was like, I don't know if I want to make music like professionally. But when I dropped my first song, let me tell you, I mixed it myself. It was trash. But it went #1 in my country on Apple. I ain't do no type of promotion.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I did nothing, and then it went #1. I was like, all right, I'm going to keep dropping then. So yeah.
Fuck it.
Boosting. Fuck it.
Fuck it. So then obviously, so you drop that, it goes #1 on Apple in your country, right? Then pandemic hits, right?
Pandemic.
What are you feeling at that point? Because then it's just like, damn, it's like I just went #1 overseas, and now it's like I'm sure at some point you felt that pressure too, because you're like, damn, like I went #1 over there, I gotta like.
I was chilling.
You were chilling?
It gave me time to work more, kind of perfect my craft and all of that. Right. I wrote more because I write poems and all that, and then I turn them into songs. So I definitely had time to like write more and then get more equipment and then record myself. So I was not stressing at all. I was chilling.
I love that for you. So then, okay, so then we hop out of the pandemic, right? Well, first of all, why'd you wait so long to take it seriously?
I don't know. I always thought it was for fun. Like, music is fun for me, bro.
Okay.
So, but people are really fucking with it. So I'm like, might as well.
Might as well.
Take it seriously, yeah.
Is it weird to like be in this Afrobeat space and making the music like here in America? Because that's a conversation I haven't got to have with anybody yet. Because everybody who I've interviewed has been, obviously you lived over there, but everybody who has come on the show so far has just been visiting. You know what I'm saying? They're not actually like living here. So what's that experience been like for you?
I feel like I'm lucky to be here because if you look at people that live in the UK or Africa, everybody just praises America, feel me? Like, I want to be in America. I want to have the connections in America.
Right.
But being in New York specifically, I'd say it's been interesting because the Afrobeat scene is here, but I just started, like, being in it more, and I'm learning. Like, it's a learning experience for real because you know what to do, what not to do. So I'll say it's been a learning experience for sure.
What have you learned from it?
Be careful who you trust. you don't want to drop the same thing because everybody's doing the same thing. You want to be different. How are you going to stand out?
Right.
And yeah, man, make your connections, and not just in the Afrobeat scene. Like, make connections with Americans. You're in America, duh.
Right.
Feel me? So yeah.
So your thing was more like use the connections that are here for you in
Smartly,
America,
yeah.
as well as like obviously the ones from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, because that's something I've been thinking about this whole time. I'm like, because when GQ was talking to me, he's like, there's a big community of Afrobeat artists from America. I was like,
Yeah,
huh.
there is.
I didn't even really know that, because obviously you assume it's just like, you assume that everybody's overseas.
It's really the question too, like, how come there isn't one Afrobeat artist that popped off of New York? There's a lot of us.
Right, which now I know because he
Yeah.
sent me a whole list.
Yeah, but I feel like this summer literally been very helpful for us because we've had a lot of opportunities, a lot of exposure and stuff like that.
And I've even seen that with you. Like I saw you did SOBs, major stage.
I was
Congratulations.
my first one. Shout out to GQ.
Shout out to GQ and that,
That
of
was my
course.
first ever performance. I never performed in my life before. No type of practice, and it went well.
I think you killed that.
Thank you.
And then you dropped the project. Am ready?
I'm ready.
Am ready.
Yes, sir.
Why do you feel like you're ready?
Because I'm ready because I finally am able to give my sound, but my difference out like I want to. And by that, I mean, I always wanted to put out like, tracks where people just talk and give like powerful hints and metaphors in it.
Yep.
I've always been like a poet, I'll say. So I was able to incorporate that into my EP. And I was so excited for that. And also, I have a song in my language. And it's crazy because I didn't expect that one to be everyone's favorite. People don't know what I'm talking about. And they love it.
But it's a vibe.
It's a vibe, feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for it because I'm able to tell you who I am. And you guys are going to be ready for me because I'm ready.
You're ready. How do you feel like the project is? I mean, it's only been out, what's today? The 22nd? It's been out for 10 days. How do you feel like the project has been received so far? Are you happy with how it's been received?
Yes, I just hit 10K on Audio Mac.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. ABAN kind of surprising me. ABAN is going crazy. ABAN is a song in my language that I'm going to be performing today. But yeah, man, people loving it. And the intro is also literally me. So if you want to know about me, go listen to the first track on my project. And yeah.
That's fire. You know Pheelz too, because I know we spoke about
Yes,
Pheelz, but I saw you
I met
followed you
him.
on IG. How did you and
Yeah.
Pheelz first connect?
So I opened up for Adekunle Gold.
That
At
was recently, right?
Apollo Theaters, yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was literally the week that I had him on the
Yes.
show. That's
Oh,
crazy.
really?
Yeah, that was the week I had him on the show. He was doing the Apollo the night after, something like that.
He was there too. He performed with Adekunle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy because Adekunle is one of the artists that, what I had to do like for some time, I would be bored and be like, okay, I'm gonna find an artist and it's gonna be my next target. So I'll just do covers and then tag the artist. And then when they see it, they see it. When they don't, I'm gonna find another artist.
Right.
But Adekunle Gold always showed me love. And then it's crazy that he was my first artist that I opened up for. He showed me love in person as well. But yeah, I opened up for him at Apollo Theaters, and then we met Pheelz at the after party. And he just loved the vibes. So he was like, yo, I love you guys' vibes. Follow me on IG. I want to hear your music and all that. It was cool vibes as well.
That's awesome.
That's how we met.
Hopefully, either you'll get a Pheelz beat in your
Facts.
inbox soon,
Facts.
or a Pheelz feature soon.
We're going to do a finesse part 2. Fuck it.
Finesse part 2. Have you gotten to connect with anybody else from over there or anybody else that's been coming over here recently?
Maybe I'm forgetting. Did I?
We look at GQ like,
Right? Maybe I did. I'm
Maybe.
forgetting. Oh yes, Spacey.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna come here too. Spacey, we follow each other on on Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
And then finally got to meet him in person. The vibe's been incredible. He's an amazing person, not even artist, amazing person. So yeah.
Well, I love that for you. I also wanted to point. I was gonna say earlier, but you got black Air Forces on. Like, whenever
I'm
somebody wears
always
black,
on smoke, feel me? Like, you
whenever
gotta be
somebody
ready.
wears black Air Forces to my show, I'm calling you out.
No,
because
listen. I told you I'm ready, and I'm ready for whatever. So Feel me? You can call me out if you want, but I'm ready.
Yo, she's
Go
on
ahead.
she's on timing today. Look, it's really been a pleasure having you. I'm so excited for people to see this performance.
Thank you,
You're
thank
gonna
you.
kill it.
Yes, I will.
Congratulations on the first project. Congratulations on everything. I only know it's up from here, and I love seeing Afrobeat artists who are based in New York doing incredible things like yourself.
Thank you so much, and thank you for what you're doing for Africans.
Oh, of
in New York.
course. Of course. It's such a beautiful space. And like I told you at the beginning of the interview, like I feel like, you know, I spent all my time out in Brooklyn and I've been through all these parties and I see that there's like not a space that's available for the music, like in the sense of not in party wise, but like in the sense of like a platform that really is bringing y'all on. And I love the music, and I think the international like appeal of just music in general should be spoken about more in New York, whether it be like Afro beats or, you know, UK music, Italian music, French music, you know, and for me, Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, like, you know what I'm saying?
Que lo que.
Like dance hall, soca, like, you know, I want to create a space for everybody that everybody can come and we could have like an incredible international space here on the radar. So thank you for being here.
I love that. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, before we sign off, let the people know where they could follow you at. Anything else that they got to know, now's the time to do it. This camera right here.
Once again, my name is FADÍ, capital letters FADI with an accent on the I. You can catch me on Instagram at FADI_official. That's FADI_official. And my music is in my bio, yeah? Feel me? Fuck with me.
There you go. Go check out the new project out now. Go run up that performance.
Yes, sir.
Go show her some love. Go show her some support. Love and support are free, but y'all already knew that. Till next time, FADÍ on the radar. Appreciate you. Love.
Thank you.
Boom. Black Air Force energy.